going to talk about starting our final copy. So in your packet last week, you got a paperclip little bundle of papers, and on one side they're white and there's a little black box, and then on the other it's blue. So you can go and unpaperclip these. These blue pages, there should be 2 of them in there. These are the cover, right? So you have a front cover to a book, and you have a back cover. Eventually, your book will go inside of this, and you'll have all the pages inside. It's not put together with a staple or anything right now because you might have a different number of pages than someone else. So for now, just take your cover, set it to this side, alright? And you're going to go to your white papers. Now, I tried to give everyone some extras because if you make a mistake in this, you have to start over. So please take this seriously. Make sure that you have had someone check your spelling. Make sure that you have periods, capitals, all those kind of things. Alright? So starting with our book, before I actually get started on this, I want to go over the assignment, and then we'll come back and work on the book. So in Google Classroom, this is going to open up, and the first thing I want you to notice is this is due May 21st. That is next Thursday. It means you have 7 days, if you count the weekends. If you don't, you have 5 days. You have 5 days to do this final copy. If I'm asking you for 5 days, and I'm asking you to do 30 minutes a day, that means I'm giving you like 2.5 hours on this book. It's not a very long book, but hopefully that gives you an idea of how much time I want you to take to really make this nice, not feel rushed, take your time, color your pictures, and just do the whole thing, okay? So it says once you have your rough draft, you're ready to start a final copy. It should be high quality, full color. You need to outline your words. That can be a marker or pen. Some of us are doing like bolded words or different things like that anyways. And there should be no spelling mistakes. And then I'm going to put the video. In your packet there's also information on this, so you might remember it has kind of the list of everything that you should have. Right? Title, numbered pages, illustrations, captions, charts, pictures, whatever it is that you're using, it should all be there. And then next Thursday, because I'm not going to do another lesson in this book, this is the last thing to do. Next Thursday, there's going to be 4 different ways you can turn this in. Okay? You can make a video of yourself reading your book and send me your video. This is an 8-page book, so it would probably be like a 2-minute video. You can just send me a picture of each page. That's fine. You can return your book to the school. If you do this, I will eventually see your book, but remember, I'm supposed to have a baby sometime in the next week, so if I have a baby, I'm not going to be able to go to the school and get your book, so it might sit there for a while. So if you want your book back, this may not be the best option right now, okay? Or number 4, you can bring your book to our class video. We're going to have another class video session, and we'll read it. So you'll bring your book, you'll come to like our Zoom meeting, and I'll call in your name, you'll read your book to the class, and then we'll go on to the next person. And this would be pretty fun. It'd be a way for you to get to read your book and share all the work you've done. So these will be your 4 options, and it says here that I'll give you some more information about the class video when that's scheduled when we get closer to next week. Okay? If you have any questions on that, of course, go ahead and ask them. Otherwise, we're going to come back to this. So, you should have a rough draft. Several of you have shared your rough drafts with me, and I've made some edits. I've pointed out some spelling mistakes, added some more 5th grade facts if you needed more pages, helped you make your book shorter if it was too long. Use all those things, okay? That's for you. First thing I want you to remember, and I would take a pencil for this part, is that we have this page here. This is the title page, so this does not get a page number. This doesn't count as a page, so I want to remember that this is going to be blank. This is my title page. I'm not going to do my title page in this video for you. You can absolutely start with it. When I flip this over, this is page 1. So I'm going to put a little 1 right here so I can remember that. This one that means it's going to be page 2. Flip this over, 3. You get the idea. Page 4, 5, 6, and you can keep going and numbering your whole book. Okay? I don't have a full book, so I'm not going to do it all. When I'm doing this, I'm going to go and I'm going to put the words and I'm going to make sure. Now, this that we did earlier, where we did a quick sketch and quick colors, that's not good enough for a final copy. Remember, it needs to be full color, neatly. I can't have things scratched out. I can't have things spelled wrong. It's got to be really nice. I'm going to take my time on it. I'm going to do this page 4 right now with you guys to kind of show what I would do. So, if I were doing this at home, I'd set it up where I have my rough draft on top maybe. So it's right there, I can see it. And then I have my final copy here. Now, I'm only putting the sentences and the picture inside of this rectangular box. I'm not going to color outside the lines or write outside the lines. I have my page number down here, and that's fine. I'm going to start with the words, and I'm going to start with my words in pencil. In case I make a mistake, it's easy to erase. So it says, the plants and animals that live here. Now, I didn't draw any lines. I'm just writing my words. If you want to draw lines, you can totally take a ruler or something that's straight at your house, a straight edge, and give yourself lines, because I know this is not lined paper, and some of us really like lines for writing on. It helps us make our words the same way, same size, and neat. If you want to do that, go for it. That's a good idea. So it says, the plants and animals that live here must have special adaptations. And then I'm going to check this really quick, and I'm going to make sure, did I spell everything correctly? Do I have capital letters where I'm supposed to? Do I have periods? And if my answer is yes, then I'll be ready to take a pen or a Sharpie. You can use whatever you want. I'm just going to use a regular pen and go over it. So now I can trace it, and it will stand out. The plants. I would recommend tracing your words before you color. Sometimes it's hard to write over colors, especially if you're going to use crayons. And animals that live here must have special adaptations. Now, I did not trace perfectly over my letters, and so the good thing about pencil is it's erasable. So once your ink has dried on your pen, you don't want to do this when the ink is still wet on your pen. It will smear it, but once it's dried, I can take my eraser and I can erase any extra pencil lines that I still have. Okay? Now, and this is where I'm going to want to color my picture. You can see this is taking me some time. That's why you have so many days. I got these cool things. These are rainbow mechanical pencils. We're going to try them out today. They're supposed to be colored pencils. And my original picture, I can see, was of a desert. So, maybe I'm going to start with my brown. And I'm going to have the desert. And I did go ahead and I drew like a burrow last time, so maybe I'm going to add that kind of burrow. And I'm going to have it going off the page this time. And that was an animal's home, so I wanted to color that. And then the other thing I know that I had underground was roots, so I'm going to wait on those. But I do know I'm going to be coloring this, and I'm going to color it edge to edge. So I can this time, whereas last time I just did some little scribbles, this time I'm going to take my time. I'm actually going to color in the whole thing. I'm going to pause this video and speed it up so you guys don't have to watch me color. And then I'll start it again. Well, I don't know if I ended up pausing that or not, because I might have made a little mistake, so we'll have to see when we watch it. But, as you can see at this point, I've colored in the desert, right? I took my time, I didn't get outside the lines, I drew my little cactus, I'm going to color in my cactus. All of this was part of my original plan. I'm just making it a little bit nicer this time, since this is the final copy of a book. Now, you can do your pictures in whatever you want. I would recommend crayon or colored pencil, because this paper is pretty thin, But if you really want to use markers, you can. Just be careful. Like I said, the paper is really thin. If you want to do construction paper, if you want to paint pictures and cut them out and glue them in, if you want to print pictures off the computer, it is up to you, but it needs to look like a finished, nice book. Okay. So the focus in my book, if I look back up here, is on this cactus, and so I wanted to go ahead and draw in the roots really clearly. This cactus, remember, has really shallow roots because it wants to reach a long ways, so it can draw up a lot of water. Alright, and then you have your caption boxes. So again, you would write first in pencil in case you make a spelling mistake, and then you can go over it in pen. To save time, I'm going to do it in pen. I wouldn't recommend this, but, you know, sometimes you don't follow directions. So, it says a cactus, stores, water, in its barrel shape. And then this was one of my caption boxes. And then to be a little fancier, I'm going to do dashed lines this time around it. Okay? I'm not going to make this video longer by decorating my entire page, but you can see that it's going to take some time for me to color the whole thing. I still, if I was finishing this, would add my other caption box. I'd add my little animal here. I'd add some rain. I would color the sky from the top to the bottom, the whole thing, and then I would go over my number in pen, and I would have one page done. If you're working on science for 30 minutes a day, you're probably getting 2 or 3 pages done a day. That's why I've given you 5 days. Okay. No one has 15 pages or more, so it should be enough time for you. The other thing to think about when you're done with your book is you do need to do a title page. So that's where you'll put the title of your book and the author. This is the cover. Some people add pictures to the cover too. That's great. It's a great idea. I love that idea, but you do whatever you want with your book, okay? Make sure your pages are all the way in order. You'll make sure you have a cover on the front, the back cover on the back, and then it's up to you how you bind your book. Some people poke holes in it and they do string. Some people use that glue stick I mailed and they do a thin line of glue and they glue each page together. Some people own a stapler and they can staple it. It's up to you, but you will want to have this book finished and ready to go by next Thursday for sharing. If you have any questions, please let me know.